Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading is an extended weekend reading looking at the energies surrounding us from Friday, April 13th through Sunday, April 15th, 2018. For the reading, I have pulled, I've already shuffled off camera and have pulled the cards. I do that just to try to save a little bit of time because it takes me forever to shuffle, and so I prefer to do it off camera. But it's a 3-card spread plus one additional card from the bottom of the deck as the overall energy for the weekend using the Sun and Moon Tarot deck. And I pulled one additional Oracle card from the Earth Magic Oracle card deck by Stephen D. Farmer. I don't know why I want to say David. I think because of the D. But anyway, just a reminder, these readings are general, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. The only way for you to get a truly personalized reading would be to order a private reading from me. That way we could take a look at, exactly what's going on in your life and provide you with, specific answers for those questions. If you're interested, you can email me. My email is changingphasestarot@gmail.com, or you could take a look at my site, changingphasestarot.weebly.com, where you will find pricing information as well as the types of readings that I offer. Just another quick announcement, the mid-monthlies will be coming out hopefully by the end of the weekend, so be looking out for those as well. It's a mid-monthly reading for each of the signs, focusing on love and romance and career and finances. Okay, so let's get started. Let me lower my camera just a little bit here. All right, so in the past position, the energies we head into the weekend, we have Major Arcana, number 9, the Hermit. We had the Hermit in the weekly reading as well. So the Hermit, let me show you this. Okay, followed by Major Arcana, number 13, Death. I love this card in this deck. How beautiful. It's more about the rebirth, right? The rising from the ashes like the phoenix. And in the future position, the 8 of Wands. In this deck, it's called Swiftness. And the overall energy for the weekend is Major Arcana number 18, the Moon. And the Oracle card is DNA, Karma. I think that's such an interesting card. See there, like the 2 snakes coming up the middle there? All right, so, well, first of all, out of the 4 cards, 3 of them are Major Arcana. So, significant messages coming through. Definitely, divine intervention at play. Beginning with the Moon card. So, the Moon card, it's a Major Arcana, and it usually deals with, hidden things, right? Whereas the Sun in the Major Arcana comes in to shine its light and clarify and enlighten you, give you information about a situation. The Moon comes in, and yes, even though there is, obviously there's moonlight, the Moon tends to cast a shadow, right? So we can't see everything. What we need to do is, we need to use our own intuition in order to gain, or in order to sort of uncover the things that the Moon does not uncover for us. So it's a card that, yes, it has to do with our intuition. It has to do with psychic abilities. It has to do with dreams, obviously, as the Moon card. So do pay attention to your dreams over the weekend. Especially, maybe you would like to jot them down. A lot of times we do dream and we wake up and don't always remember them, or maybe we remember them as soon as we wake up, but then during the day we tend to, forget them. So write it down, jot down, even if it's just one word. This, the word might be very significant. There might be a significant meaning to that word. So pay attention to that. We also have here, you see the lighthouses here. They form like this portal, it's like a portal of our subconscious, and it's this, this in-between space, right? This us needing to sort of use our intuition to be able to bring into here the material realm, messages that we get from the spiritual realm. So definitely intuition at play over this weekend. The moon also speaks of fears, right? It can have to do with hidden things that we uncover. There could be secrets at play that maybe we have to figure out what those secrets might be. There could be, if we think of fears, it might be a need for us to face our fears, face our past fears, sort of head on in order to move onwards on our journey. So different messages coming in here with the moon card. With the hermit sitting in the past position, there could have been, as you head into the weekend, there could have been something that, you needed to withdraw, you needed to retreat, you needed to, sort of reevaluate, review, right? With the hermit card, and especially, we do have Mercury retrograde ending this weekend, right? It ends on the 15th. So makes sense that, with the retrograde, it can be a time where we are, where people from our past appear, old friends, old lovers, things like that. It can also be a time to rethink, reevaluate, redo even. So with the hermit, sitting here in the past position, there might have been something that, you needed to retreat. You needed to sort of meditate, think about things. Maybe there was, something that you needed to, a situation. Maybe you were reevaluating, is the path that I'm on the right one for me? Is this job that I'm doing, does it still bring me the joy and the happiness that it once did? Is this relationship what I really want for myself? Where do I see myself in sort of 10 years' time? Is the path that I'm currently on, will that lead me to that destination? So it's a card of going within, and really thinking about sort of the past, the present, and where you want to go in the future. Which brings you to this card number 13, which is the Death card. And, the Death card is all about major endings and new beginnings, right? And we know that without first having death, rebirth would not be possible. We have the again, this rebirth. In order to have rebirth, we first have to let go of something. We have to release something, right? We have to detach ourselves from something. So this could have to do with releasing, some part of yourself that's no longer needed. Release something, some part of your ego that no longer serves you in order to, really be who you're meant to be, in order to move, continue down this spiritual path that you're on. And again, we have the fears. These fears, release the fears with the moon card. There could be something that you have to, release as far as your fears go. Definitely change, renewal, transformation, right? We do have the Phoenix on this card. So it's, literally being reborn from the ashes, reborn from his own ashes. So, it's a symbol of change, major change, sitting at the, in the middle of the spread here. So this could be, and it's really, especially on this card, I see it really as a personal transformation. I mean, look at her, she is being reborn here. She is, rising from the ashes. So there could be, definitely, this could have been that you have, you've taken this time out. Now you've decided where you need to go, where you're heading, what this path is. And you are, there's change, and it's necessary change. And you can only have, new things can only come in when you release the past. You release whatever you were holding on to in order to have this rebirth. And then as you leave the weekend, there's news, right? This Eight of Wands speaks of very quick news coming in. Usually we associate it with, this back and forth of text messaging or sending like emails, this online back and forth. So rapid communication. It also has to do with, sudden success as well. So there could be, sort of this swift, sudden success that comes in. There could be rapid communication. There's something, you see that all the not just the rainbow here, but all of the wands, they're sort of midair, right? They're all up in the air. They're flying across the air. So something is in the air, something as if something is about to happen with this card. You know, it's like you can sense it. Things are coming in. They're starting to you're starting to see these things coming in. But in order in order for these things to come in, you need swiftness, right? Just like the name on the card suggests. It says swiftness. So you need to act swiftly to resolve whatever this might be. We also have the rainbow here, right? Indicating that you need to follow through on whatever it is that you've started. So if there is something that you began, it's following through on that. But news, swift movement, change that comes about that's going to, push you more towards the path, the spiritual path, your life path, soul path that you need to be on. But there's something to do with release here, right? Needing to release something. Let's read the DNA card. It's karma. I like to read the whole meaning for the card. Let me find it here. DNA. Here we go. It's kind of a long description. Let me see if I can read parts of the first part, because in this guidebook it gives you sort of the first part where it talks about karma, and then it actually kind of gets into the message for the card. So karma, it explains, is a concept in many Eastern religions. It is a Sanskrit word implying the greater universal laws of cause and effect, providing an implied code of ethics within the structure of the seemingly endless cycles of birth, death, and rebirth, samsara, which we experience throughout our lives in many different versions. And we have the rebirth, right? The death rebirth card right here. The mistaken notion about karma is that it's some type of punishment, but it's far from that. In fact, in its purest form, it simply asserts that our conduct in this lifetime will determine our next incarnation. It also comes to mean how our behavior and actions in this lifetime create consequences in a slightly different version of the golden rule. In this card, we see two intertwined serpents with double helixes on either side. It says it's a graphic representation of the most ancient ancestry we can lay claim to, our DNA, the fundamental substance of life itself that provides substantial determination of our life path. Then the message says, aspects of your soul entered your primitive physical self long before you had begun to take form. While the DNA that you inherited from your biological parents has a physical component, it also has a soul pattern that came together in the creation of you. You are predisposed to follow the karmic dictates of this patterning to some extent. Yet, as you evolve in your consciousness and expand the light of awareness, you can make choices that shift and modify this ancestral design. This is one of those times. You can feel the tug of your soul that is both ancient and karmic. Yet you also recognize the persistent and loving communication from your higher self that contradicts the more familiar solutions before you. The choice is up to you. But know that every time you heed the guidance of your higher self, no matter what etheric or physical form it takes, human consciousness is elevated. In a sense, it becomes a choice between destiny and fate. And this is very interesting because, we do have this hermit card, reevaluating or thinking about your current path. Are you on the right path? Do you need to tweak or change anything? We also have, listening to, paying attention to these hidden messages coming in with the moon card. And then the death and rebirth sitting at the center of the reading. I mean, it's all this karma. It's all about cause and effect that, that goes on through these endless cycles of birth, death, rebirth, and if whatever we don't learn in this one incarnation, then, when we come back, there will be some type of sort of karmic lesson to learn still from that. So interesting. Pay attention to, things, messages coming in, things that you sort of just pick up in as being sort of in the air, right? Through your intuition. Pay attention to that. But significant, death, rebirth, and karmic lessons, cause and effect at play this weekend. So pay attention to these things. pay attention to your own thoughts and actions over this weekend. There might be some type of karmic lesson coming in, at play here. So, significant weekend, I think. Very strong messages for this weekend. So, I do hope that the messages have helped you in some way. I thank you for joining me here today. I look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you all much peace, love, and light for a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.